counsel is very important also for Aquinas's teaching on human action. And as always, we begin with the end. The end that we intend comes first. And in relation to this end, this goal, this good that we have intended, we choose means, the various possible ways to arrive at, to attain the intended end. And we recall that without an end, something is not a means. Means are only understandable and only actual as means in relation to an end. However, as contingent beings, and we remember that contingency means that we could be other than we are. In contingent reality, many possibilities, many differences exist. And so if I have an end, and then that I intend, and then I begin to choose, I want to choose means to attain the end, I'm not faced with sometimes I am, but usually there are many possible means to arrive at an end. And this is where counsel comes in. Counsel is a deliberation of reason, the evaluation of reason, the analysis of reason about different possible means. It's the evaluation. What is a better means? What is the best means that I should choose to arrive at, to fulfill my intended end? Now, to use an example, let us say that my intended end is weight loss. So that's my end. That's my goal. The goodness of being at a more healthy weight is my end. That's what I'm intending. And now, as we all know, there are many possible means to do this. Some better, some worse. So, one possible means that might be proposed by my reason is exercise. That's a reasonable option. But there are also other possible alternative means. Diet, or a blend of the two, exercise and diet, as most physicians and nutritionists recommend. Another possible means might be watching television. And if that were proposed as a mean that I might choose, counsel would evaluate the nature of TV watching, of exercise, and of dieting in relation to the end to determine which of them would work, which of them is most efficient, which of them is proportioned, most directed to the attainment of the end. And even to use another example, my intended end is to lose weight. I'm looking at possible means: exercise, diet, watching television, or cutting off my leg. That too is a possible means. If I cut off my leg, that's probably 20 pounds. I'm not a doctor, I would guess, but I would lose weight if I cut off my leg. But my counsel, which will evaluate all the possible means that the will can choose to attain the intended end, it will evaluate and determine which is more likely to succeed, which is wiser, which is better, which is worse. Dieting and exercise are probably more efficacious than watching television. And even watching television, however, is probably a better choice for attaining the end of healthy weight loss than cutting off a leg, because I would lose my health, which is a part of dieting. So to summarize, we intend the end, we choose the means, but before we can actually choose a particular set of means, counsel is the act of reason by which we evaluate possible means to make the determination which means we should choose to attain the intended end.